making his World Series boxing debut. In the red corner, bronze medalist at the 2011 National Championships from the Venky's Mumbai Fighters. He has his target in sight. Put it together for Thomas the Tommy Gun Jablinski.
जो परवाज़ें रोके हर ऐसी बंदिश के मुंह पे डिशू जो सपनों की सांस दबोचे ऐसी हर कोशिश के मुंह पे डिशू दुश्मन की चौखट पे जाके उसकी हर साजिश के मुंह पे डिशू.
Well, that's Tomasz Jablonski of Poland. They're getting ready with the technical director of the team, Joe Klau, and there's how the individual rankings for the middleweight ranking. Sergei Derevyanchenko of Milan, that's at number 1, and you've got Heybula Mursalov, who's not fighting tonight, so they're keeping some of their better men back, Baku Fires.
That's right, and going back to number 3, you know, it's going to be a tough one. We don't know much. Here are the judges. Jakub, Bogikos and Rene just are the 3 judges.
And that's Klaus Bedemann of Denmark, who will be in charge of the proceedings inside the ring. The referee for the opening middleweight contest between Tomasz Jablonski, and that's Jablonski, and this is Mikolai Vezhelov, ranked number 8 in the World Series with a 2-0 record. He's won both his bouts against Germany. Now that is so interesting that he was fielded only against the Germans.
That's right. Not only that, he's, you know, you take a look. I mean, we don't know much about the Venky's Mumbai Fighter right now. You know, this is his first fight here for the Venky's Mumbai Fighters. We're going to learn a lot about him during the 5 rounds that we watch them. Now, he's got a 3-centimeter advantage. He's 2 years younger than his opponent, who is from Bulgaria and, well, from Belarus, I should say. And so it will be extremely interesting. And the handshake. We're a few seconds away from the start. All right, seconds out. And Ravi, we're on the way. This is the middleweight fight, our first of the evening. Jablonski for the Venky's Mumbai Fighters. Vezhelov for the Baku Fires, and
this is quite interesting. Both men fighting close, and immediately we had Vezhelov coming in with a very, very strong left hand. So that's something that the Pole Jablonski will have to watch out for. It's Jablonski in the black and gold shorts, while Vezhelov in the gold and orange shorts, as we are approaching the end of the first minute in round number 1. But one thing is sure, Mohit, that Jablonski is going in low for the attack. So he's got his plan in mind, quite right.
That's right, and a good combination there from Vezhelov. Jablonski weaved and tried to get out of the way, but that was a good left and right. He's going to get some points, and that looked more like a trip to me, but Jablonski trying to take advantage of it, went in after him, but Vezhelov quick to get back onto his feet, gets his balance back.
Yeah, I think Vezhelov lost his footing on the advertising that's pasted right in the middle of the ring.
And therefore no count there, Ravi.
Yeah, definitely. That's not a punch that had made him stumble. But one thing must be said, that Jablonski was very, very smart and very alert to the fact that his opponent had stumbled and immediately came in for the kill. Unfortunately, the execution wasn't as Jablonski was desired, but certainly Jablonski has taken the challenge to his opponent.
He certainly has. He's trying to be the aggressor here. He's fighting from the inside, forcing Veselau to go out. There isn't much to choose from between the two in this round so far. Jablonski getting low. And Ravi, if you notice, Jablonski, he's an orthodox fighter. He's an orthodox fighter, but he tends to sometimes lead with his right, you know, and that can be fairly disconcerting for an opponent who really hasn't seen him before.
Well, it is a good close contest, but I would give an edge to Jablonski. Of course, it doesn't matter who we give the points to, but it's the three wise men around the ring who count. But at the moment, I think Venky's Mumbai Fighters have made a very strong start.
I think so. I think it's encouraging, and you know, it's very big. Let's take a look at that replay. He'll get some points for that one. Right in his solar plexus. But you can see Jablonski extremely aggressive there. That's the stumble that actually took him down. It was followed on the back of a right hand. So just wait and see how the referees and the judges actually look at that. There we go. So and it's Veselau who's well by majority won the first round. Extremely close.
Well, we weren't too far off the mark. It was a close round, but round two now gets underway in this middleweight contest. Remember, it's 5 3-minute rounds, and it's an home and away contest. So it's 5 bouts in the Mumbai home, and then 5 more on the 10th of March in Baku, where the Venky's Mumbai Fighters will be up against it. And if the scores are level, then there is a tie-break bout, which is drawn to be the light heavyweight category. Now that is gonna be really crucial, because there the Baku Fires have a huge advantage, because they've got the 2 men at 1 and 2.
That's absolutely right. But just taking a look at what's going on out there in the center of the ring out there, a lot of trading of punches and counter punching, and both men have actually been able to land a few on each other. And it'll be important for Jablonski to just try and regain some of that early advantage that he had received. It was a split decision in the first round against him. He needs to ensure that he comes back strong in the second. Seems fairly level to me so far. And just Ravi, very quickly, you know, this is a fairly big occasion for the Venky's Mumbai Fighters, the quarterfinals. You know, it's so good for boxing in India, isn't it?
Well, certainly, this is the debut season for Venky's Mumbai Fighters in the World Series Boxing, and they've made fantastic progress by making it to the knockout rounds. Remember, they've gone ahead of experienced team like LA Matadors, who were in the semi-finals last year, but this time they couldn't make it to the quarters. So that is certainly a huge achievement for Venky's Mumbai Fighters. Meanwhile, Jablonski going in for a close punch-in and trying to match his southpaw opponent, Veselau. And let's see how he's matching up. But now Veselau is suffering a bit.
He certainly is, and you know, we were saying earlier, Ravi, that once in a while Jablonski, though he's an orthodox fighter, leads with his right, and that's probably to just counter the effects of the unorthodox southpaw that he's having to deal with out here. He's a bit of a brawler. The southpaw's a little more technically better than he is, and it's starting to tell as they go deeper into the second round.
Well, isn't it the case with all left-handers in any game, whether you call it cricket or tennis or badminton? The left-handers have that extra bit of an edge.
He just looks that much cleaner, doesn't he?
At the moment, it's Vesela who seems to be having the edge in round number 2.
Well, he's been controlling the ring from the center, and that's I think been the difference. I think we'll see. The first round was a split decision. I think this is going to be a lot more in favor of the Baku Fires.
That's the Belarusian Nikolai Veselov, and there you see his left leading, and then again punching with his left and right. The 1 and 2 from Veselov causing some damage. I think there is some part of that advertising on the ring floor is loose, where the boxers do tend to stumble. But after the opening flourish, it was a very, very tight one. And there you see all 3 judges have scored in favor of Baku Fires. So Veselov now leads on 2 cards, and 1 card it's all equal.
Round 3.
All right, seconds out. Round 3 underway, and there's got to be a bit of going back to the drawing board here for the Venky's Mumbai Fighters. They've got a bit of ground to make up out here, and Jablonski looks like a bit of a brawler, Ravi, and the question is, if he's able to connect one, he just might be able to hurt his opponent, who's controlling this fight from the center for now.
Well, one thing good about Jablonski is that he's able to absorb the punches that Veselov is even throwing at him, and showing good staying power. The speed hasn't diminished. We are in the 3rd round, and forced Veselov to come in close. Now that's a bit of a dangerous ploy by Veselov, because if Jablonski can connect in close quarters, then he will be certainly in trouble. Remember, it's Venky's Mumbai Fighters at home to Baku Fires in the first quarterfinal of the World Series Boxing, and we are at the In-Orbit Arena Mall in Mumbai. Middleweight contest to kick off the action of the evening, and it's Tomasz Jablonski in the black and gold shorts against Nikolai Veselov in the blue corner with the black and orange shorts for Baku Fires. Round number 3 halfway gone, and I think this one is again tilting decisively in favor of the Baku Fires.
Right.
Certainly does look like that, and referee calls for a break. And a good combination there, beginning with the left here. A 1-2 combination from Veselov, starting with the left. And now all of a sudden you've got Jablonski, who's now trying to control the center of the ring, and he's really got to land a couple, because he's at this point swinging, but he's missing and hasn't really been able to connect with anything that's really hurt his opponent.
Well, I think Jablonski's brave efforts are now beginning to...
A nice jab there, and followed up by a counter jab. And the jab is what's hurting Jablonski here, at least as far as the points go. Veselov using that very effectively, and he's using the left jab really much squarer in his technique. As he gets more and more confident, you'll probably see him get more square.
Jablonski able to absorb the punishment being thrown at him by Veselov. He is hanging in there and making sure that he is not outclassed. That's a good left jab, but didn't strike. In round number 3 ends. But I think once again the Baku Fires man Veselov would have done enough to gain the nod from the judges.
You're absolutely right though about Jablonski's chin. He certainly has one. He's taken quite a few on the chin. Let's take a look. Well, that was one of the few times he had the upper hand in this round. The fighters have been getting extremely close to one another. A number of clinches, and they've had to be separated by the referee in the center.
Well, all 3 judges have scored in favor of Vesilao. So now he does hold a lead on all three cards without a doubt. And now there you see Mikolai Vesilao getting instructions from the head coach. And round number 4 all set to begin.
And Vesilao just playing the role of an outside fighter. Now you can see him, he's dancing around. He's inviting the Venky's Mumbai fighter to go in at him. He's weaving and he's certainly fighting with a lot of confidence. He's seeing his opponent as big can be, and he really has this fight under control right now. Jablonski lands a good left.
Break.
But he's unable to follow that up. And that's what he really needs to do if he wants to get back into this fight.
And now we have a look at the judges for this bout. Klaus Petermann of Denmark, Hera Sidi Jakob and Evangelos Bogiokas of Greece. And that is referee Rene Just of Slovakia. As you're back with Mohit Lalwani and me as myself, Ravikant Singh. Mohit, this is going to be again a very, very tough bout, but Melnik is an unknown quantity.
He certainly is an unknown quantity, but he's got to deal with a southpaw out here. Vatan Husinli has had just one fight in the World Series of Boxing. He hasn't won that. So something that we can possibly look forward to if you're a supporter of the Venky's Mumbai fighters.
Elbow, low blow, fair play, good luck to you.
Well, I think it's a bit of a gamble by the chief court, Gazman Azayev. As we start with the round number 1, it's Sergei Melnik in the black and gold shorts and Vatan Hussein Ali in the black and orange shorts. But Hussein Ali from Azerbaijan is the man who will be looking to make an impression. Don't forget, light heavyweight has been dominated by Baku Fires men, and they certainly are hoping that Hussein Ali can do something special today.
Well, I'll tell you something, just watching the first couple of seconds in this round, I'll tell you, I like what I'm seeing from the Venky's Mumbai fighter. He's technically very solid, stays very nice and balanced on the ground. He's watching his opponent carefully, comes in with his shoulder behind his punches, and I certainly like what we're seeing out here. I think he's up so far in this round. We've got, well, 2 minutes left to go, but from what we've seen so far, I think we're in for a good fight here.
And he's got a good height advantage, 2.5 inches taller than his opponent Hussein Ali. So Melnik has got that advantage of reach, and if he can take advantage of that, he can certainly score very well. Now that is going to be a good challenge for Hussein Ali to come back, because he's, don't forget, he's lost the only bout that he's been fielded in by Baku Fires.
No holding, no holding, no holding.
All right, takes a left to his chin and
come on. Break.
get into a clinch. The referee will just separate them right now, and I just like what I'm seeing from the Venky's Mumbai fighter out here. He's getting well balanced in the ring. He's technically very sound. You can see that he's following his punch with his shoulder, and that's really good to see in a boxer. He's got a height advantage, but he's clearly capable not just of leading but counter punching as well.
Let's go.
Well, Hussein Ali is certainly in a spot of bother there, and we also take this opportunity to welcome in the commentary position Sunil Shetty, the action man of Indian cinema. Welcome, Sunil.
Don't hold. Step back. Let's go.
All right, so Sunil, it's quite an evening, isn't it? What superb atmosphere, and how good this is for Indian boxing.
I think brilliant. You know, it's one of the first times after I saw Muhammad Ali in NSCI that I've come to a boxing bout. But I think international standard, the entire setup, the quality of fighters that we have here, and the entire atmosphere, really, really good.
If I'm not mistaken, that was against Leon Spinks in exhibition.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's right. All right, and he takes a left to his chin. Well, the Baku fighter out here, he's a southpaw.
Don't hold. No holding, guys. No holding.
So
no
a bit
holding.
of an adjustment for the orthodox fighter to make out here.
Break.
This fight started well for the Venky's Mumbai fighter, but The Baku Fires have come back. That last punch won't be counted. It's after the bell.
Well, we've got a look at the first round, and we'll let Sunil Shetty talk you through that action as we see the replay coming up. But, Sunil, how do you score that bout? How do you find that?
A great bout, like you said. You know, he had his shoulder behind. See, that was a good knock. And like you said, the Mumbai fighter had his the power behind the punch. Athletic, but both good fighters here. So I think it's an evenly balanced bout as of now.
It certainly is, but I think what will happen is technique will start to tell as they get deeper and deeper into this fight, as they start to tire. And it is a split decision, not surprisingly. And well, Venky's Mumbai Fighters has won the first round on the split.
Two.
So it's looking good. Seconds out.
Well, round number one certainly went the way of Sergei Melnik, but Sunil, how do you enjoy the action? I mean, it gets you into the feeling that you want to jump into the ring?
Absolutely. Adrenaline always pumps when action is happening, and the Mumbai fighter is pretty quick with his left and right also. I mean,
he certainly is.
Yeah,
he's taken a couple to his jaw already, so he might just want to. You know, he's starting to lead with his chin rather than his left on a few occasions. He leaves himself unexposed, and if he can change that, I certainly think he's got this fight well under control.
Head up. At the moment, Melnik is the man who's dictating the terms. And Sunil, have you ever fancied trying to go for a round of sparring or two with these guys, Venky's Mumbai Fighters in the train?
I think if it was 20 years earlier, I would have said yes. But with age catching up, I don't think I'm as fast as I used to be. But I used to kickbox, I used to fight, I used to enjoy the sport a hell of a lot. I guess it's all got to do with age, stamina, speed.
Well, you play a lot of sports. Where does this fit in as far as your favorites go?
High up there in the order, and I'm happy that boxing is coming into India in a big way. Other than that, our boxers are doing well all over the world in all the international bouts. We've got a lot of talent, so looking forward to this going all through the country.
That's right. And later on, we've got Jitendra Kumar on the cards tonight, and he was a quarter-finalist at the 2008 Olympic Games. So really something for everyone out here to cheer for, and the seats are just getting packed out here, aren't they?
Seats packed, great atmosphere. You couldn't ask for better weather either.
It certainly is a lovely day for March. It's normally much warmer here in Mumbai. He slips. Now, as far as the rules go, Ravi, just for our viewers, if any part outside of their feet touch the ground, technically they should be counted, but unless it's caused by a no punch. So, for example, in a situation like this, that'll be counted as a no count, and the fight will continue as
well, certainly, what I'm surprised is that the referee, Rene Just, has not asked that corner to be cleaned. Now, that is something the referee's got to be careful about, because that's the third time we've seen a man slip in that same corner, which means that there is some water there when the boxers are refreshing in between the rounds, and that certainly is something the referee needs to have a good look at.
That's certainly right. 3 times.
Stay back. Melnik there throwing 1 and 2, but not able to really connect and do much damage. But Hussain Ali trying to come back, trying his level best to make his punches count. But at the moment, with seconds ticking away in round number 2, I think it's again going to be a very, very close round. Maybe the Venky's Mumbai Fighters have a slight edge once again.
It's going to be extremely close, but compared to the first round, the Baku Fires, Hussain Ali, I thought just did a lot better. He connected a lot more, and he certainly looked more sure of himself. I thought at times Sergei Melnik just lost his balance. Let's take a look at that. Couple of swings that didn't really connect. Those won't count either, while that will for Hussain Ali.
Well, that was a slip, and once again you see 2 judges counting in favor of Melnik. So once again it's a split decision, and the Venky's Mumbai Fighters lead on 2 cards. And Sunil, What was your verdict on that round? Do you agree with the judges?
Absolutely do, because I think he initially struck him hard, and that's what made the difference. Though he got back towards the end, but I think that's where the verdict went again for the Mumbai fighters.
Now, you are yourself planning to start something not like boxing, but more akin to martial arts in the near future. Tell us something about that.
I think that's what actually Sanju and Raj are doing. They're getting the version of the UFC down here, which is great. Other than cricket, I'm happy that there are a lot more other sports taking over.
And this really seems to be the blooming of Indian sports right now. It's just starting to, you've got some cricket fatigue going on for sure, and it certainly helps that the other sports are finding not just sponsors but promoters as well.
Absolutely, and more than anything else, I think with channels like ESPN promoting this kind of sport, it makes a big difference, and that's why you see sponsors, you see a great crowd that is here today. Purely because of the awareness that is being spread.
Okay, and the Baku Fires are coming back strong in this one. Hussain Ali has landed a few very nice rights. He's a southpaw, don't forget that. A bit of a peekaboo style. You would have seen that if you saw Floyd Patterson and Mike Tyson fight. They had a peekaboo style where they bring their gloves up and pretty much look through them a bit square on. That was a nice, great counter punch there from Melnik, and following that up, and he's going after his man.
Well, Melnik knows that he's got the advantage, and he's got the grip on Hussain Ali. Now that is a very good tactic from Melnik, because if he can land a couple, then Hussain Ali will find it very difficult to come back,
and
because another good right to the chin.
And he's really got his man, and just caught something, Ravi, where we saw Hussain Ali, he's just starting to drop his guard a bit, he's breathing a bit heavier, and I just wonder if Melnik shouldn't start going to his body, just taking advantage of the fact that possibly his opponent is starting to tire.
It's certainly again a good punch to the chin, and Sunil, you're liking what you see?
Absolutely, and I think Melnik has got back, even though he was, he got the first few, but I think he got back hard, and the opponent already...
And he's got him on the ropes now. Hussain Ali comes forward, looks for a clinch, and that's what's saved him, because he was on the ropes, and if Melnik had been able to find his range there, he possibly would have had his man in a lot of trouble out there.
Don't push him.
Seconds ticking away in round number 3, and this round is certainly going the way of Sergei Melnik of Ukraine, representing Venky's Mumbai Fighters. But the bell signals end of round number 3, and the crowd certainly quite excited by what they've seen. It's quite easy for people to get excited in such a physical contest, Sunil.
It is, because I think where in India, even on the entertainment front, we come from action cinema, so I think it really works, and that's what's getting everybody excited, which is good to see. There is reaction, there is positive reaction, and what is also very encouraging is there are a lot of young girls who have come to see the fight.
Certainly is, and I think that's important, because as you broaden the base of your viewers and your spectators, we saw what the IPL did to cricket in India, and I think that's so important for the other sports as well.
Absolutely.
All 3 judges have scored in favor of Melnik, so that's a unanimous round. First one in favor of Melnik, but Melnik certainly was the dominant man, and now he's got things more or less under control. Timeout has been called as the Venky's...
I think someone's heard you, Ravi. They've got to clean that part of the ring.
No, they forgot the gum guard, gum shield.
Oh, right.
Box.
Well, that's what happens under pressure.
Don't hold, guys. Don't hold.
Okay, for the Baku Fires, it's back to the drawing board here, because they're coming in. What I'm liking about this is the boxers have both come out. They're standing toe-to-toe, having a bit of a slugfest out here. And that's working in the favor of Melnik for now, because he just seems stronger, Sunil, doesn't he?
Absolutely, far more composed. I think Hussain Ali gave up in the 3rd round itself. He started dropping his guard, and you can see that now.
And you can, if you take a look at their technique, their footwork, You can see that Melinik is so correct in the way he's standing, while Hussainli is just so square. And I think that's starting to make a difference, because when a man stands the way Melinik is standing, it's very hard to drop him.
Absolutely. And, well, he's dropped his guard too.
A bit of a break as Hussainli's spat his gum shield out. So that is not the best tactics, and that really doesn't go down well with the judges. Or
it's against the rules in boxing. You really shouldn't be doing that. And the only time it's really ignored by the judges, Ravi, is when it happens by accident or caused by a punch.
Well, as we see Sergei Melinik go about his business with great power. We'll get Sunil to talk us about what he thinks of this concept. You know, right in the middle of a parking lot, you've got this world-class exhibition of boxing going on.
Absolutely brilliant. I mean, I think people should come forward, and more such places should be available for bouts like this to happen. I look at also South Bombay as a very, very a brilliant place to have it, because from a crowd perspective and from a perspective of knowledge of the sport too, because NACI used to host some of the best fights, whether it was in wrestling or in boxing, that we saw.
It's a great location as well. Sunil, you were watching the counter-punching action that was going on. You were going to say something.
Yeah, like I said, Hussain Ali was standing far too wide, and he's probably given up because his feet aren't moving at all.
Whereas he's not moving, his guard is dropping.
Absolutely.
And I think Venky's Mumbai fighter is starting to see that. He's starting to take advantage of that. We know he's got the fight won until now, and with 33 seconds left for this one, lands a nice left-right.
Head up. Melinik is now going for the kill. He wants to finish it off as quickly as he can. Unfortunately, he's not been able to land that 1-2 which he's been attempting. And if he does, then Hussainli will have a lot to answer for. But at the moment, second stick away. We are approaching the end of round number 4. And once again, it's going to be Sergei Melinik who will have the advantage, I feel. But we'll get Sunil to score that one.
Melinik all the way, because I think Hussain Ali gave up even before he came in. And like I said, square on, there was no body movement, no leg movement at all. And Melinik was, kind of circling around him.
He certainly wasn't. Well, 5th round to go, Sunil. Seconds are in right now. What do you tell a man who's leading this fight? What do you tell a man who's leading this fight right now?
I think, for Melinik, the biggest advantage is to go for the kill and get him down, because that'll help the Mumbai fighters all the way.
All 3 judges score in favor of Melinik, so we'll make that 4 judges. Sunil Shetty also scored it in favor of Sergei Melinik. But Sunil, this bout is now all sewn up for Melinik. And now it's going to be really, really tough for Hussainli to come back. But you think that the rest of the boxers should take inspiration from this performance?
Absolutely. That's why I'd like to see a kind of knockout, and which is possible the way Melinik is going.
Man, Sunil. You're a harsh man.
But I'm a Mumbai fighter fan, so I guess that's the way it's going to be.
You certainly are. This is a blood sport at the end of the day. Choose to put your thumb up or thumb down.
Don't hold. No holding, guys. No holding.
A nice uppercut there from the Venky's Mumbai fighter. The Baku fire coming at him with everything right now. It just may be too little, too late.
There we see Ronit Roy, actor with 5-time world champion MC Mericom, posing for photographs.
And how much she's done for this sport, Ravi. Just, she's really she's truly, Sunil, a great athlete when you look at the history of sport in India.
Absolutely, and that's why the first thing when I came in, I went to and told her what a pleasure it was to meet her, and I could see her in a seat wanting to get up there and fight. She was fighting with the boys, sitting in a seat, which is awesome to see.
Well, we'd love to have her here as well, and helping us sort these men in the middle of the ring out. So a minute and a half to go, half the round done. And Melinik
No holding,
has
no holding. Work
had to
inside,
take a
work
few on
inside.
his chin in this
Don't
round.
push him, don't push him.
But Hussain is throwing
Stay back.
everything he's got because he knows nothing short of a knockout will do in his favor. As we see MC Mericom keenly watching the action in the ring, and as seconds tick away towards the final minute of round number 5, Hussain is throwing just about everything behind his effort, but his opponent, Sergei Melnik, is refusing to bow down and take it. He's throwing it back as hard.
Well, he's lucky not to get a warning for that elbow out there. That was Melinik. And he really doesn't want to do that at this stage of this fight. You know, he's got this fight won. He just wants to now take it home. There's about 40 seconds or so left. And he's done what he has to get the Venky's Mumbai fighter on the scoreboard.
But who would have expected Baku Fires? They have the World Series Boxing 1 and 2 in their ranks, and they lose the light heavyweight bout. Now that is something that's going to hurt them in the return leg.
And it's important because they're 10 for 10 so far in the league, and they've got 10 of their fighters in the top 10 in their various categories, including 4 of them, I think, in the top 2. And winding down, 2 seconds left, the bell goes, and Sunil, I think it's gone to the Venky's Mumbai fighters.
Absolutely, and you know, Hussain Ali was like a fish out of water. Last breath, giving it his all for the knockout, but I don't think it worked.
Well, Sergei Melnik from Ukraine enjoy every bit of the adulation that he gets at the Inorbit Mall Arena from the Venky's Mumbai fighters as we have a look at the final rounds replay. And there you see Hussain Ali getting in desperate, but only finding the gloves, and that don't really impress. It's an open glove again, not really doing much damage, and Melnik just vaults his way through the final round, and no surprises there who the winner would be as we await the formal announcement of the results.
And he ended that fight with a bit of a Djokovic kind of a dance at the end of it.
Well, he can afford to do it now that he's going to be the winner, and we'll have the formal announcement of the results. Sunil.
Melnik for sure. You know, his jig itself at the end of the bout said it all. That was cute. That was nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have with me the result. It is unanimous 3-0 based on the judges'
there we have the
decision.
official
Scores
announcement.
49, 46, 48, 47, 49,
And,
46. And the winner is Sergei the Lion Melnik
Sergei
to the
Melnik
Venky's
wins
Mumbai
unanimous
fighter.
verdict in his favor, and there you see all 3 judges have given it to him, and that is a good comeback by Venky's Mumbai fighters. Now 1-all with Baku Fires. Now that's something that you would not have expected from a team that finished number 4. And as Sergei Melnik eggs the crowd on, he can afford to do it as they have it. So there you have the results so far. Vasilov giving Baku Fires the lead. Melnik drawing level for Venky's Mumbai fighters. Don't go away, we come back with the bantamweight.
Amazing setup.
Yeah, superb, no?
That's it. But that's what I was telling you. Next year.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and I must say, ladies, we have a lot of girls in the house tonight. Is it because of the boxers? Is it because Mr. Ronit Roy and Sunil Shetty, who's enjoyed a stint in the commentary box, is here? Or is it because 5-time world champion MC Mericom is sitting in the house? Any tips for the boys? Any tips for any of the boys over here? Do you like what you're seeing? She's just all smiles. All right, let's take another breather before we continue with the boxing fights. Let's take it easy with the cheer girls.
supervisor is going around the ring and speaking to all the three judges and collecting their verdict. There's no doubt about it that Jermakanov is the winner because all three judges were definitely saying blue. So it is going to be I think it's a tragedy for Jitendra Kumar because the way he came back in round number 3, it was really creditable the way he put Jermakanov on under pressure. But that unfortunate cut on his left eyebrow has put the onus and given the victory to Jermakanov.
Well, let's just wait and
Ladies
see.
and gentlemen, have it be the result. Unfortunately, the contest has been stopped because of injury, but the judges have based their decision on points. It is 2-1 split at the moment, and the winner after this, from the blue corner, the undefeated streak continues for Garbek Jermakanov.
Well, it is Garbek Jermakanov, but on a split decision. Now, that is a bit of a surprise, but no marks taken away from Jitendra Kumar. There you see, two judges scored in favor of Jermakanov, one in favor of the Indian. But it was indeed a great performance for Jitendra Kumar. So there you see Jitendra Kumar losing out to Jermakanov. Next up, it's the lightweight between Charlie Suarez and Semen Krivashev. Don't go away.
Very sad, very tragic. He looked like he was coming back strong in that fight. What an upset was on the cards.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's certainly getting interesting, and the fights are getting closer and closer as we hit the middle over here. In case you need any refreshments, do visit the Venky's nutrition stall, which is right outside. They've got a special energy drink for you to try. It is AO Sip Energy, and just in case you need a little bit of burst of enthusiasm or something different, here are the cheer girls.
Make some noise for the Desi boys! D-boys! D-boys! Let's go, come on!
All right, boxing fans, let's get set next for the category, which is the lightweight category. They may look very lean, but they are certainly mean fighting machines, I can assure you that. In the blue corner, he was a gold medalist at the 2009 President's Cup, representing the Baku Fires. Please welcome Semen Krivashev. the red corner, a man that you certainly wouldn't have forgotten, silver medalist at the 2011 President's Cup. The last time he was in this ring, he knocked his opponent flat. Please welcome from the Venky's Mumbai Fighters, Charlie, Warrior of God, Suarez!
All right, and there we have the individual rankings, and Juan Romero is out at the top, Ravi.
Well, certainly, and you've got Padadi Bekov of Baku fired at number 2, and he is not in the ring at the moment. It is Semen Krivashev, and the judges Boglikas of Greece, Renejast, and Klaus Bedemann of Denmark, while we will be seeing for the first time, a lady referee, Kaira Sidi Yacob of Algeria, in charge of the proceedings in the ring.
Now, Ravi, just looking back at the fight there, we just saw a tragic end for the Venky's Mumbai Fighters as Jitendra Kumar lost the fight due to an accidental foul. And, you know, but for that, I kind of fancy the chances of the Venky Mumbai's fighters going into the last one, the heavyweight fight, where they've got Wayne Farr coming into that one. And there's a lot at stake this one, but they've got a good man representing them here. Charlie Suarez knocked his opponent cold a month ago when we saw him in this very same ring.
And also the bout that he lost in Astana, Samat Bashanov, is certainly not the, I think, the clearest of decisions. It was a split decision that Charlie Suarez lost, which he had won on my card. So Charlie Suarez is certainly a man to be watched out for, and Krivashev will not be taking Suarez lightly. And if Suarez can deliver, it could be back on level terms, all then going into the heavyweight bout.
Certainly could. Both men are, well, Charlie Suarez is 23 years old. Shemin is 27. Suarez a marginal height advantage here, but we know that he punches and punches hard.
But certainly he knows how to connect that right uppercut. Ask Ekachai Pramada of Bangkok.
And he went down like a sack of
I've
rocks.
never seen a ringside doctor running in the ring that fast, as we saw Muhammad Motasane charging in to have a look at what happened. There you see MC Maricom, 5-time world champion, and now getting ready for the Asian Boxing Championships, where she will be trying to qualify for the London Olympics. And meanwhile, we've got a bit of a delay as there's some technical issues being sorted out by the supervisor, Helmut Ranze. Spectators quite excited about how the Venky's Mumbai Fighters have been performing this night.
All right, just while we wait for the officials to go through what they need to get this fight underway, and it seems we're ready.
Round 1!
So Baku fires leading the Venky's Mumbai Fighters 2-1. Both fighters a bit tentative right now. Shemin will have watched footage of Suarez knocking out his opponent a month ago, and he'll be extremely wary of the right hand that did that.
Well, Krivashev has got a very open stance, which might look very inviting to Charlie Suarez. He's got his gloves low, and there's a fair bit of gap between the two gloves, so that could certainly present an opportunity to Charlie Suarez. And as he charges in, of course, he'll have the crowd backing him as well in this in-orbit mall arena, because he is certainly a favorite with the crowd.
He certainly is, and he's become even more so after he knocked out his opponent a month ago. Now he's landed a couple of nice jabs, and there's another one Meanwhile, Shimon won't get any points for those because that was on his opponent's elbows. Suarez defending well out there, keeping his guard in, and that's basically what Shimon wants to avoid. He wants to avoid that right hook of Charlie Suarez, that is so very dangerous.
Grivachev, if not anything else, he's done his homework well. He knows Charlie Suarez doesn't hurt too bad with the left, but the right can be lethal. That's what he's trying to avoid. And this time, a good right landed there by Charlie Suarez.
Followed by a left as well, and he's going after his man now, and Shimon did well to get out of that, countered with a left, but he was in trouble for a moment, Ravi.
Well, final minute of round number 1, and certainly Semen Grivachev is not having it easy, although he's ranked number 8, and once again a left to the chin straight from Charlie Suarez. So certainly Charlie Suarez making sure that despite his ranking being 20, and he's facing Grivachev, who's ranked number 6 with a 3-1 record this season, he's not overawed by his more experienced opponent, and is making sure that Venky's Mumbai fighters stay in the contest, because if he can pull it off in this lightweight bout, then it'll be back to 2 apiece.
It certainly will, and he's the younger of the two fighters. Clearly a bit more scope there for improvement. He's shown what he's capable of, and he's done it in the first round as well, and he's gone after his man yet again. Does well to get out of the way of the counter. And for me, Ravi, with about 5 seconds left to go, this is all Charlie Suarez in round 1.
Well, certainly Charlie Suarez has taken the initiative. We'll see how the judges saw it, but the corner is going to play a very crucial role, because Joe Clow is the man who's going to be deciding. That's Grivachev, who is not having it any easy at all. And there you see Charlie Suarez right connecting with Grivachev's chin. Once again, the left connecting. So Charlie Suarez making sure that his punches land and land well. Grivachev a little annoyed there, trying to hit him on the sides to get that guard down, but that didn't work out. And we see 2 judges have scored in favor of Charlie Suarez, 1 in favor of Grivachev, so it's a split decision, but Charlie Suarez has the lead.
So Charlie Suarez well out of the gates for now.
Seconds out.
And there we've got an excited budding boxer.
Round
That's what you
2.
really want to see. Boxing being developed at the grassroots level. Seconds out.
Round number 2, and Charlie Suarez making sure that he's coming in low. That's something that Joe Clow must have told him to do, because we had seen repeatedly that Grivachev was trying to hurt him on the sides, knock this wind out of him, and that's something that Charlie Suarez would do well to avoid, and that's why he's coming in crouching low to present a smaller target.
And Shimon Grivachev is actually inviting Charlie Suarez in. It's a bit dangerous considering this man has a really lethal right hand, and Charlie Suarez able to land the jab to his chin. And for Grivachev, what he's doing is he's able to counter well, and that's what's keeping him in the fight against Charlie Suarez for now.
Well, certainly he's got the experience going for him. He is at least 4 years older than Suarez, so he's got a lot more experience. And let's not forget, this is his 2nd season in the World Series boxing, so he's also more used to going those 5 rounds of 3 minutes each. Normally, amateur boxing is just 3 3-minute rounds, so that's also a step up for debutant.
Stop!
Grivachev as well, and he certainly isn't as cheeky as he was in the previous round.
What?
That is the official stable, the official announcer, the timekeeper as well. And now Charlie Suarez coming in very strongly. He knows he's got his man in the corner.
And he's hurt him there. A good right, and he's going after his man now. Grivachev fights back. He's coming with a counter, and the 2 men are going toe to toe. The crowd is up in arms out here. Charlie Suarez just unable to capitalize on that. I thought Ravi, he's allowed his man back in, but he really hurt him then.
Well, it is certainly the crowd chanting his name as the man, Charlie Suarez, is making sure that Semen Grivashev is not able to do much. But Charlie Suarez is certainly got the advantage in round number 4. He's landed a couple of good ones to the head and should be getting a nod from the judges.
He should win this one. Semen Grivashev finishing the round better than he started off, but I think Charlie Suarez had done enough for most of the round to score this one in his favor.
Well, there you see that left landing on Grivashev, and then once again Charlie Suarez trying to follow up, waiting for that opportunity, and then as soon as that opportunity came, he followed it up with a good 1-2, and then we'll have to wait and see how the judges saw it. All 3 for Charlie Suarez, and now it's going to be quite interesting.
Eid Matthew out there.
Seconds out.
He was physio for the Indian
Round
Olympic
5.
team in 2008. Heath Matthew, it is the physio of the Indian boxing team. But at the moment, we're back to round number 5. And Mohit, one card is all level. Heath Matthew watching very closely. And we've got 2 judges giving the advantage to Charlie Suarez, and 1 judge is all level. So now Grivashev actually needs a knockout.
He certainly does.
No,
Charlie Suarez just has to do enough to ensure that he stays on his feet. And even if he finishes this round strong, it will be enough. Grivashev knows he's got to go after his man. Charlie Suarez needs to stay on his feet. But Grivashev receives one on his jaw from Suarez's right, and certainly Grivashev, not surprisingly, being the aggressor out here. Charlie Suarez trying to keep him at bay, and he lands a couple of nice combinations out there. And I'll tell you something, Ravi, with a minute 45 seconds left to go, this just may have been the final nail in the coffin for Semen Grivashev, the higher-ranked player.
Well, this is certainly not something that Baku fires had expected, because they've won one bout against Jitendra Kumar by an unintentional foul, and then they are in trouble. So now Baku fires are fighting with their backs to the wall.
So Charlie Suarez, we know he can fight. We saw him knock his opponent out the last time. He's very square in his stance, but he comes in very low and comes at his opponent with a lot of weight and propulsion behind his punch.
Last 45 seconds in the 5th and final round, and the Indian contingent is all excited. If they could land a punch or 2, certainly it would be KO right now.
Well, Semen Grivashev needs a knockout. He's going to lose this fight, otherwise he's been able to act aggressor in this one. But Charlie Suarez, I feel, has certainly done enough to win this fight. A good counter from Charlie Suarez out there. No count there. That was a fall from no punch.
Well, I think the local people need to pay a little more attention to the ring, because the ring has not been the cleanest. We've seen quite a few slips, at least half a dozen or more. But at the moment, the crowd is up on its feet, because we've got a big verdict coming up in the lightweight, as we are joined by Ayaz Mehman. Ayaz, did you expect Mumbai Fighters to be 2-all at the end of 4?
Oh, absolutely not. I think this is getting to be a very exciting, contest between the two teams. And everybody had written off the Mumbai fighters before the bouts began tonight. So it's a big surprise.
Well, and Ayaz, a tragic end to Jitendra Kumar's fight because he was crawling back. He had won the third round, and he looked like he might have had control of the fourth round when they stopped the fight.
As we await the announcement of the results, there is no surprises there because it is Venky's Mumbai fighters now awaiting to get the shot. We've got Ayaz Memon with us. And Ayaz, tell us, now this is something that Mumbai fighters could carry as a legacy with them.
Ladies and gentlemen,
This is their debut season.
It is, and I think this bout itself, whatever bout we're watching today, let's get the result.
Mumbai fighters, Charlie, the Warrior of God, Suarez!
And Charlie Suarez adds to his record, wins another fight. He won his last with a knockout. We were watching that from here, Ayaz, and he had his opponent out stone cold. But just again talking about an event like this, now you've seen a lot of sport in your time. As the country starts to face some cricket fatigue, it's so important for sports like this to start to find their ground.
Well, we've got all set at 2 apiece, and coming up is the heavyweight bout between Uenfa and Hazi Murtazaliev. Don't go away, we'll be right back and keep talking to Ayaz Memon.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, things have really got interesting, isn't it? Even Stevens. But you have to excuse me, I have to take a personal note because I'm an army man's daughter and the Sikh regiment is there, Jai Hind. They're boxers, they're army men, they defend our nation. It's great to see you in the house. All right, celebrities, army men, boxing fans, what more could you want? The heavyweight bout still awaits. But before that, it's the cheerleaders. ladies and gentlemen, this is it. It has come down to the final clash here. Remember, this is the quarterfinals. There are no second chances. There are no rematches. This is it to move on. And it is the heavyweight category, which is coming up next. Now, the visiting side from the blue corner with a 2-all record in the WSB season this so far, representing the Baku Fires. Please give it up for Haji Murtazayev. And the next fighter will have you screaming your lungs out because I know it, he is your favorite. In the red corner, representing the Venky's Mumbai Fighters, bronze medalist at the 2010 Commonwealth Games, undefeated in World Series boxing so far. You know you love him. Give it up for Uwan Fa, the Iron Man Jr.
की जो परवाज़ें रोके हर ऐसी बंदिश के मुंह पे डिशुम जो सपनों की सांस दबोचे ऐसी हर कोशिश के मुंह पे डिशुम
Well, there you see Clemente Rosso of Milan at number 1, Viktor Zuyev at number 2 of Istanbul, and Ruslan Mitsatiev of the Astana Arlans at number 3. So no Baku Fires man there in the top 5, and that's good news for Venky's Mumbai Fighters.
Well, the Venky Mumbai's fighter Uwan Fa is ranked number 10, while Haji Murtazayev is ranked 8th. The judges are Yaqub, Pidiman and Bujukas.
That's Rene Just of Slovakia, the man in charge of action in the ring. And we have with us Ayaz Memon, veteran sports journalist. Ayaz, now 2-all after 4 bouts. Had we given it to you before the start of the action, would you have taken it?
Not at all, not at all. I think this is out of Ripley's, believe it or not, Ravikant, because nobody, I can't think of I've read every story which has appeared in the papers, I've spoken to people, and nobody believed that Mumbai had a chance of winning 1, forget 2.
And don't forget, of those 2 bouts that we've lost, Jitendra Kumar was a really, really unfortunate accident.
Yes, that was very sad because I thought Jitendra was boxing very well. He was shaping up very well, Mohit.
He certainly had. He had come back. He had won the 3rd round. He looked like he was leading the 4th, at least to the point that they stopped the fight. And it was just unfortunate for him. But this is a great... I wouldn't be surprised if this one was close as well. We can see the 2 men getting extremely close to each other. That's the strategy that it seems that Haji Murtazayev has tried to adopt. He's tried to negate the reach that the longer man has. He's cramped his jab, and that has what's paid off for him. He's following that up with counter punching, and it seems like he's playing his strategy out right down to the teeth.
Yes, I think it's a very calculated assault. I think Fa needs to. So
and Fa has won this round 10-9, 10-9, 10-9. He's scored this well, and he's not just back in the fight, he's in the lead now.
Oh yes, he is in the lead. He's leading on 1 card and 2 cards. It's all even And certainly
Okay.
now
Okay.
Uwen Fa is, well, you've got
A
a
bit
bit
eager
of
to
a
come out there. He came out without his gum guard. And I think what paid dividends for him in round number 2 was the fact that he came out and was aggressor, and we've got to see some more of that from Uwen Fa, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's following his left with the right,
Break. Come on, break. Next,
and it's the
break.
combinations that will eventually end up hurting Haji, because that's what he's banking on. Uwen Fa has the reach, he has a jab, and if he can match that and mix that with a few combinations, he might just have
Don't
his
push him,
opponent
don't
where he
push him.
wants him.
Step back, let's go. Step back.
Having won the second round, I think now
Fair
Fa
play.
needs to keep up the aggression, keep going for his man.
He certainly does. It's as much a case of attitude as it is a case of skill here. Both men extremely skilled. One ranked 8th, the other ranked 10.
What we are seeing from Haji Murtazaliev is that he's charging in with his head low, probably in the hope that he would be able to connect. So he's not really looking at his opponent when he comes in, and that is the opportunity for Uwen Fa to come in. Now Uwen Fa is now moved in much closer to the center of the ring, and that says that he is now getting more and more confident.
He is, but he took a
Don't hold. No
he
hold.
took a left to his
Step
jaw
back.
out there,
Step
and
back,
that
let's go.
possibly hurt
Step
him.
back.
Murtazaliev probably feeling that he's got an opening, as he did manage to land one good punch in this round so far, but Uwen Fa trying to come in and come in strongly. Once
No
again,
holding.
that head is low from Murtazaliev, and Rene just having a bit of a problem keeping the two men from clinching. Now that clinch is starting to have an effect on Uwen Fa, because he's not able to get into his rhythm. Once again, you see that men are coming in to a very close bout, and Murtazaliev trying to take advantage and coming in low with that head.
And Ravi, if you just watch this fight, at some level it reminds me so much of Ali Fraser, the taller man with the jab. There you have Ali and Fraser with the counter punching, trying to hurt him with his opposing arm. And it's amazing. I just had a vision of a fight that I had seen a video of so many years ago.
Yeah, in a sense it reminds you of that bout, doesn't it, Mohit? Except that I think Haji has got a stronger left, Frazier had a terrific right.
He certainly did. And Uwen Fa able to lead with the right that time, lands it on the jaw.
Don't hold. Step back, let's go. Step back, break.
He's not going to get any points for that
Break.
one.
Referee Rene just having lots of problems keeping things fair, but the bell signals end of round number 3. The crowd excited there. We see enthusiastic supporters from the Sikh regiment as Haji Murtazaliev in the corner, and there we see a bit of a blood. Again, the headbutt from Haji Murtazaliev has hurt Uwen Fa just above his left eye.
Fortunately, it's not as deep and wide as Jitendra Kumar's was, and Uwen Fa should hopefully be okay for that, provided he can keep his eye away from Haji's head.
So
A better round there for Haji, Ravi.
Oh, certainly. Haji has made his intentions more than clear, but once again, Uwen Fa is the man who gets the nod from all 3 judges. So now it is Venky's Mumbai Fighters who are in the lead, and now Haji Murtazaliev has got a tough task ahead of him, because one judge has got it clearly in favor of Uwen Fa, and 2 have got him leading by 1 point.
Certainly is a bit more. And the Baku fighters, I've seen this in 3 of their fighters, they're using what is called a bolo punch. They feign with one hand and then lead with the other in the hope of distracting their opponent. You can do that once, you can do that twice, surprise your opponent, you keep doing it, and you're gonna get hurt.
Well, bolo has become kuch mat bolo.
No holding,
there you go.
Break.
Well, Ayaz, one thing is sure, that Venky's Mumbai Fighters came into this quarterfinals with nothing to lose, and they are certainly going to be the big winner, even if they take it 3-2. I think it will be a huge boost for them in the season to come.
Absolutely. I think that was the big thing, because they came here with, with nothing to lose, everything to gain. This is their maiden season, and to reach this far, and you get, you're against a team which is perhaps the best in the WSB.
And Haji able to land a left and another left, and he's hurting Owen Fa out there. Owen Fa can't let this slip away from him right now. He's done everything he needs to do to win this fight. He just has to keep his nose ahead. That's all he needs to do. It isn't that tall an order. He's just got to stay with his strategy of using his jab effectively. That's what he's done for the first 3 rounds, and that's won him the second and third round. And he's got to do a bit more of that as we head down to the last minute and a half of our fourth round.
Well, Ayaz, let me pick your brain. Now, Owen Fa has been working hard, but he's also beginning to hurt. His footwork is not there. Now, how do you see this round panning out? Because he's not been able to land as many punches as he would have liked.
I think you're right, Ravikant, because I think he's slowing down a bit. He's hurting a bit. He's running out of wind. And this is the crunch time, because there's still 1 round and a little more to go.
There certainly is, and he's got to just get a few in so he stays in this fight now. He's up on points, and he's got to make sure he stays away from Haji's left. That has been the damaging punch for Haji as he counters the jab of Owen Fa.
Owen Fa, final 30 seconds in round number 4. Can he make it count now? Because if he wins this round, he will have a decisive lead going into the final round, and then Mutazaliev will need something extra special. Once again, a good right from Owen Fa. Landed a good one on the chin of Mutazaliev.
Those punches to the bodies will count.
Let's go.
Referee asks them to break, and as we wind down,
Go.
1 round to go, and the suspense building up out here at the In-Orbit Mall. Has Owen Fa done enough to take the Mumbai fighters into a dream result?
Well, certainly it would be a dream result if they can pull off a win. Owen Fa has the capacity to do it here. As we go in, we are watching the replays of round number 4, and coming up will be round number 5, but Owen Fa has got to show better staying power, because his punching has slowed down a bit, as we see how the judges scored, and all 3 have scored again in favor of Owen Fa. Now that means that Haji Mutazaliev needs a clean knockout to win this bout.
He does. He needs to stop this fight. Ayaz, just a quick question.
5.
Hypothetical. How far away are we from seeing a decision review system in the world of boxing?
Let's get past cricket first, Mohit. You'll have some new objections coming up.
We do have a review system where the teams can file an appeal in World Series Boxing, and verdicts have been reversed. One of the teams that were at the receiving end was Los Angeles Matadors against Milano Thunder, and that verdict, which I beg your pardon, against Dynamo Moscow. Originally, LA Matadors won 4-1, but upon review, the contest was awarded 3-2 in favor of Dynamo Moscow. So there is a provision in boxing for decisions to be reviewed on video evidence.
And accepted by all teams.
And
that's the important
accepted
part.
by all teams. That's the important part.
No, as fortunately here teams don't have a say. It's a review is possible if the appeal is filed.
Which is how it should be. I mean, the same rule should apply to all teams.
It certainly should, but clearly...
I have a feeling now the crowd is waiting to erupt, because people are sitting on the edge of the seat. Unfortunately, what the crowd doesn't know that this contest is now already sewn up by Owen Fa, courtesy his wins in round 2, 3 and 4, and that has given him a clean advantage.
Now, Ravi, what's happening is you can see Haji, he realizes that he needs a knockout. He's going at it with everything. He's swinging. It's becoming a bit of a brawl for Haji, and he needs that knockout punch. He knows that he's got a left that can hurt his opponent.
Don't hold.
And
Don't hold.
We are about 1.5 minutes away from a deafening roar here at the Innovate Mall, Ayaz, because as soon as the Venky's Mumbai Fighters are declared winners on the night, I'm sure everybody's going to be jumping out of the seats.
Yes, there'll be widespread jubilation. I mean, I've seen the crowds grow over here, and they've come to support the Mumbai Fighters team. They've come to accept it.
And I think what's important to know is that this will be the first fight that the Baku Fires have lost this year.
Yeah, that would be an astonishing. It's an astonishing upset if it happens. Not far from it now. Just about a minute, less than a minute. 33 seconds remaining.
Don't hold.
Now the crowd is getting into it.
And I think Owenfa has done enough. 25 seconds left. The clock is counting down, and you can see Haji. He's going for it. He knows he needs a knockout. 18 seconds for the Mumbai Fighters, Venky's Mumbai Fighters, to make history here tonight in the second.
Step back, come on.
Well, one man I'm looking for in the crowd and can't see is the team principal Udit Chet.
And he'll be on his feet right now. And
well, the celebrations have begun.
Major upset this has been. What a major upset this has been. They, in fact, are so tired they went to the wrong corner, the two fighters.
Yeah, it's been a grueling fight. These are big boys. It takes a lot out of them. It takes the mickey out of them when they finish a 5-round bout. But it's been terrific going for Mumbai Fighters, hasn't it, Mohit, today?
That's right. And Haji complaining to the referee. Something about his head not being up, but really it was Haji who was coming in low into the fight, using his counter punch, at least in the first round, to great effect. But Haji was able to counter it with what turned out to be a very effective jab.
I understand that the Baku Fire team had gone to Miami to train before they came here.
Well, they were the leading team from Group B. They are unbeaten, and I feel that record is about to go in a moment.
So we have the formal announcement of the results coming on, and this is the first to visit, first defeat, and Owenfa has won this bout, and Venky's Mumbai Fighters are the winners on the night. What a performance for the team that is making its debut in World Series boxing.
And everybody here at the stadium on their feet. I think there's jubilation, there's cheer, but there's also a feeling of absolute stunned silence from certain parts of the crowd.
And what an evening it has been. This is the lineup there. This is the current standing.
3-2 for the Venky's Mumbai Fighters. Owenfa winning the decider with a unanimous verdict and giving the Venky's Mumbai Fighters a historic victory.
Well, certainly it has been a historic win for the Venky's Mumbai Fighters, as they have shown that they've got what it is with them. And there you see how the teams are ranked. Venky's Mumbai Fighters are fighting in, and they will travel to Baku next week, and will certainly make sure that Baku Fires are going to be in trouble at home. They've got to defend their home turf. So till next time, it's goodbye from all of us here at the Innovate Mall.